The luxury watch bubble has finally popped for the ultra-wealthy, triggering a vibe shift in the world's most famous brand. We are looking at hard data revealing the 10 Rolex models that the global 1% have officially blacklisted in 2026. As the old money crowd ditches the crown for true horological exclusivity, these former icons are being left behind in the vault. The yellow gold day date is the universal symbol of success, but for the ultra-wealthy in 2026, the president is facing a serious problem. As of this January, a standard champagne dial model now carries a staggering $48,000 price tag. For the first time in a decade, these aren't flying off the shelves. They're actually sitting in authorized dealer cases. The data shows that high net worth buyers are experiencing logo fatigue. When a gold Rolex starts pushing toward the $50,000 barrier, the elite are no longer comparing it to a Submariner. They're comparing it to hand-finished pieces from Vacheron Constantin or Patek Philippe. To the old money crowd, the yellow gold president has become too recognizable, too common, and simply too expensive for a watch that doesn't offer true horological rarity. They aren't just saving money, they're fleeing the obvious choice in search of something more discreet. But while the classics are cooling, the biggest flex in the professional catalog is suffering an even more public rejection. The ever-rose gold Daytona with the chocolate dial was the undisputed celebrity flex of the last 3 years. But in 2026, the hype has curdled into a double-digit market crash. This model now costs nearly $53,000 at the boutique. There is a 12% drop in secondary market demand for non-steel Daytonas because the quiet luxury shift has made this specific combo feel entirely too loud for the current room. The rich aren't just tired of the price, they're tired of the attention. So check this. In the circles where people actually spend 50 grand on a watch, the rose gold Daytona has become the uniform of the newly rich. And that's a label the ultra-wealthy are desperate to avoid. They are liquidating these social media trophies in favor of vintage pieces or more discreet platinum alternatives. When the world's most recognizable chronograph starts feeling like a "look at me" cry for help, the smart money exits the building. While the gold is too loud, the most complicated Rolex ever made is proving to be a $40,000 headache. The Sky Dweller is a mechanical marvel, but it's currently the biggest red flag in the 2026 catalog. While Rolex aggressively hiked prices across the board, they held the precious metal Sky Dwellers to a stagnant 1% increase. They did this for one reason. The wealthy simply stopped biting. High net worth travelers are realizing that the 42mm case is just too bulky for a modern, streamlined lifestyle. They're swapping these heavy hitters for slimmer GMTs or even the new 1908. It's a solution to a problem that wealthy collectors no longer have, and for the first time, the engineering isn't enough to justify the mass or the stagnant value. Speaking of 1908, even Rolex's attempt at high society elegance is facing a brutal reality check. Now, Rolex launched the 1908 to go directly for the throat of Patek Philippe's Calatrava, but that plan has effectively failed. This is the Patek problem in full swing. Rich buyers don't go to Rolex for dress watches. They go for professional tool watches with a story of adventure. The 1908 is a technical masterpiece with its open caseback and refined movement, but it's a ghost in the real world. Nobody in the inner circle is actually wearing them to the boardrooms or galas. To the ultra-wealthy, a Rolex dress watch feels like a brand trying to be something it's not, and they'd rather spend their $30,000 where the heritage of elegance is undisputed. If the dress watches are too quiet, the big boy divers have become too deafening. The Yacht Master 2 is the obsolete king of the catalog. At 44mm, it's a massive, complicated watch with a regatta timer that almost nobody actually knows how to set. In 2026, it's officially become the dealer's special, the watch sales reps push on people who want a Daytona but haven't spent enough yet to earn one. The truly wealthy won't touch it because it carries a massive gold premium for a design that feels stuck in the early 2010s. It's loud, it's clunky, and it lacks the timelessness that rich collectors are currently craving. If you see one on a wrist today, it usually means the owner is still playing the 80s waiting game. But at least the Yacht Master has a purpose. This next model is a solution to a problem nobody has. Among the ultra-wealthy, the Air King is suffering from a major social stigma. It's seen as the "I just got promoted" watch. Once you reach a certain level of net worth, that busy, colorful dial starts to feel a bit immature and cluttered. We are seeing a massive shift where the elite are ditching the Air King for the cleaner, more rugged Explorer 1. The rich want heritage and simplicity, not a dial that looks like a car dashboard. In 2026, the Air King has become the entry-level badge for the middle class, causing the old money crowd to run in the opposite direction toward understated elegance. Clean lines are winning, which is bad news for the most colorful watch in the collection. The emoji Rolex was a viral sensation back in 2024, but in 2026, it became a "what was I thinking" moment for the few who actually bought one. The fad is officially dead. These off-catalog pieces have seen a brutal 20% crash on the secondary market as the quiet luxury movement takes over and the quirky luxury dies out. Rich people are realizing that a six-figure watch shouldn't look like a toy. The wealthy are trading in their emojis for actual history and classic dials, proving that a gimmick, no matter how rare, eventually loses its luster when the trend cycle moves on. The wealthy are trading emojis for history, but one historic model is being left in the dust. The Milgos has been the victim of a massive rumor mill that finally ran out of steam. For years, people hoarded the 116-400 GV, thinking that a new titanium version was coming in 2026. It didn't happen. Now that wait-and-see fatigue has set in, and collectors are finally dumping their inventory. The hype for a relaunch has completely cooled off, and the secondary market is being flooded with green crystals. When the smart money realizes the big payoff isn't coming, they don't wait around. They exit their positions. What was once a cult classic is now just a watch that feels left behind by time. Dumping inventory is a trend, especially for the one watch that's literally too big for a private jet. The Deep Sea Challenge is the perfect example of a Veblen failure. It's incredibly expensive because it's hard to manufacture, but the rich have finally realized it's physically impossible to wear. It has moved from being the ultimate flex to ultimate regret. Even collectors with the deepest pockets are realizing they'd rather have a slim, wearable Submariner than a titanium monster they can't even fit under a sleeve. It's a technical marvel, sure, but it's a failure as a luxury item. In 2026, if you can't actually wear it to dinner, the ultra-wealthy don't want it in their safe. Size doesn't really matter when you can't fit the watch under a custom-tailored suit cuff. The two-tone root beer is currently stuck in the in-between slump. In 2026, two-tone has become a no-man's land for serious investors. With the recent 11% price jump for Rolex models, the root beer is now approaching the full gold prices of just 3 years ago. The wealthy are looking at the math and deciding to either go all the way with a full gold Greenwich or skip the model entirely. The middle ground is disappearing. Rich buyers want the best or the original, and the root beer, as beautiful as it is getting squeezed out by its own skyrocketing retail price tag. The middle ground is disappearing, and it's forcing buyers to make a very expensive choice. Would you follow the old money exodus into rarer territory, or still hold on to the crown? Let us know your preference in the comments.